holding a Union flag and proudly wearing his parachute regiment beret. Just one of about 250 veterans who gathered at the Cenotaph before descending on Westminster Square, flanked by a procession of motorbikes.
Here in Whitehall, at the heart of government, hundreds of veterans have turned out to protest against government plans to repeal legal protection for Northern Ireland veterans. The bikes you can see and hear in the background are also from veterans bikers groups who want to support them. And at the very same time that the veterans are here, MPs are behind me in Parliament debating a petition which also protests against this legislation.
The House is debating this ruling about how the veterans are going to be caned or punished for having carried out their duty and service in Northern Ireland, when, of course, the IRA have been given letters by Parliament exonerating them for any of the acts which they carried out during the Troubles.
Tom Lynch and Mark Whitford both served 6 tours of Northern Ireland with the Parachute Regiment. They don't think the general public understand what that was like.
They haven't a clue. It was tours in there. We were fighting a war against a very vicious enemy. And the whole thing is madness. The Labour government are now losing lawfare to get us out of Johnny Mercer's fantastic bill. It's madness.
And behind closed doors, there's support for the veterans amongst top-ranking service personnel. BFBS Forces News has seen a joint letter from the heads of the UK's 3 most elite military units, written to the Chief of the Defence Staff, Admiral Sir Tony Radakin. The chiefs of the SAS, SBS and SRR, that's the Special Reconnaissance Regiment, said they were increasingly worried about new legislation, saying, far from helping with reconciliation, continuing to use criminal and judicial proceedings to deal with the legacy of the Troubles is likely to keep old wounds open and inflict new ones on veterans as their mental well-being suffers. A fact not lost on those serving now or who might want to serve with UKSF in the future. We're convinced that it's time to draw a line under events which will otherwise never be satisfactorily concluded. The legislation they're all talking about is the Northern Ireland Troubles Legacy and Reconciliation Act 2023, often referred to as the Legacy Act. It was brought in by the Conservatives to prevent what they called vexatious claims against elderly service personnel for alleged offences committed on duty in Northern Ireland decades earlier. But Northern Irish courts found parts of the Act to be unlawful, and the Labour government have committed to withdrawing it and replacing it with something they say will be fair, lawful and respectful of those who served. But veterans protesting on the streets aren't convinced. Boris served 6 tours with the Parachute Regiment, and his son Richard served 2 with the Royal Green Jackets.
We were sent to Northern Ireland. I certainly went first time in 1970. Richard went a little bit later, which is understandably, he's a lot younger. And for doing our job and doing it properly, we're still persecuted for it now. And it's wrong.
And do you share your dad's...
100%, yeah. Brave enough to put your foot on the ground and risk your life to make other people's better and then get persecuted 30, 40 years later. Doesn't make sense.
An interim arrangement is currently in place and set to last until the end of October. And the government say they will replace the Legacy Act by early 2026. Rosie Leyden, BFBS Forces News, Westminster.
Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.